Imagine a beloved RPG rebuilt with the latest tech and developer love that expands the world and gameplay in ways you wouldn't expect. But how well does Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hook players in the first 5 hours? Let's find out. 2020's Final Fantasy VII Remake had the insurmountable task of delivering a worthy next-gen experience to one of the most iconic RPGs ever made. And in my opinion, they excelled and brought the characters and world to life in a way I wasn't expecting. And Rebirth sets out to recapture that magic. For some background, I love JRPGs. The original Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorites, and Remake was everything I wanted and more. The game starts with, well, let's skip this part as it made me tear up and you should experience it for yourself. The game starts with a flashback to Nibelheim and a trip to investigate the first Shinra reactor, a vital piece of the overall story where we see Sephiroth change from the beloved war hero to something much darker. This area acts as a tutorial to reintroduce us to the group as Cloud recounts his recollection of the tale. We get some combat that remains snappy and fast and evolves on Remake with some new moves and team combo attacks. The dialogue and voice acting are great, and the game is visually stunning, although it seems muddier than Remake, and I had some lighting issues as well. The second hour continues the flashback with more opportunities to learn the combat, culminating in a fun boss fight where you control Sephiroth and flex his overpowered abilities. The remastered and remixed music is on full display throughout, and the boss music is bumping. The flashback wraps up in the third hour and doesn't show the tale's conclusion, but instead leaves it in a mysterious state, and even the story itself may not be as events actually occurred. The first town, Calm, becomes explorable, and it's incredible how they've presented this world. It's reasonably large and layered with verticality and different areas within. It's highly detailed and lively, and has some new things to do beyond shopping. The first is a relationship system, where you can build bonds with your party. I don't fully understand this yet, but the game explains that you can make decisions relating to each character to alter portions of the story. Very interested to see how this plays out. There's also a new way to upgrade weapon skills, and I should mention here that in addition to the easy and normal difficulties, there's a dynamic difficulty that I'm playing on based on your skills. Finally, the game introduces its first minigame, a card game called Queen's Blood, not too dissimilar from The Witcher's Gwent. I'll just say it's super fun and I will spend tens of hours playing it. Also, shout out Crybaby Ned. In the fourth hour I gained access to the characters' skill trees, obtained a transmuter that acts as a gathering and crafting system, and was released into the first open world area. This area is huge and sort of feels like Xenoblade. There are points of interest to discover, enemies to fight, ingredients to gather, and treasure chests to find. The scenery looks fantastic and lush, but there is some pop-in. I spent most of this hour exploring the map. I'm refamiliarizing myself with the combat more, and like Remake, each character has their own fighting style and unique moves, which all feel great. You start with Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barret, and the now playable Red 13, but you can only have 3 members in your party. You can set up to 3 party compositions and switch them outside of combat, and all characters gain experience, not just the ones in use. I couldn't believe I reached hour 5 when I did. I was so absorbed in the world. This was another hour of exploration, combat, and learning how this game approaches open world. I found a machine where I could level up the skill tree, ran into a swamp I couldn't cross without a chocobo, and found my first purple chest which held a weapon. My time ended when I arrived at a chocobo farm where I had been tasked to track down and capture an escaped chocobo that would be mine to keep and allow me to cross the swamp as we flee Shinra, who is hot on our heels after the events of the first game. Chocobos can be caught and trained, and there's gear to purchase for them too. Five hours of what's reported to be a 100+ hour game isn't enough to tell if Rebirth can continue to expand upon the success of Remake, but I'm sure as heck hooked, and I know this will be another special game. I can feel this development team's respect and love for the original, and the excitement to tease out ways even longtime fans can experience the story with new eyes. Being dropped into an open world after how linear Remake was makes the game feel different, but in a good way. As a fan, I just want to spend time in this world, listen to the fantastic music, fall in love with these characters and their goofiness again, and engage in energetic battles as the plumes of this phoenix are revealed. I had a smile plastered on my face the whole time and plan to ride this high until the eventual tears roll down my cheeks.